How low are we going? How low can we go? That is a question some of you have been asking here in the Crypto Angel Network community. Let's take a look at that together. I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, for lighting up the bell to get my notifications, for liking and sharing the videos, and especially your comments. I appreciate that so much. So I'm going to go ahead and show you share some of your questions and your thoughts that have been there. And we're going to explore that. I'm going to share from my gut, what I feel, and then also some technical analysis as well. During this wild time where I it does feel like at the moment, what came into my mind this morning when I woke up was when there would be a hurricane, say in the past, let's go back to 2017 in crypto, the hurricane would have been a category 4. And it feels right now that 2021 is a superstorm, that it's a category 5. And all one can do is you just got to anchor yourself. You got to just batten down those hatches and you'll make it through. This is not financial advice, but I would say that if you see someone that just says which I have just seen, I saw someone post that they got out of 90% of their portfolio. But for those who are newer to the space, let's say that you bought at the all-time high. If you go and sell at a 90% loss right now, you're never going to get those funds back. And really, I love what a number of you have said here about zooming out. The way I look at it is if I take a step back, or if I actually project myself into the future, and a couple of things I do, and you can do this for yourself in your own way, is I go, for example, let's say Ethereum. I go, Ethereum, what do I see? If I imagine and I tune into where Ethereum is May 2022, is it going to be $300? No, I don't feel that at all. Is it going to be maybe $15,000? It could be. I really feel that it could. Is it going to be where we recently just had that all-time high of 4,300 and now we're down at, where are we at? I think at 1,800. I feel May 2022, we're definitely not going to be at the price we're at now. Are we going to be at 4,300? I think that will be a new level of support easily. So that comes from my instinctive feeling. If I extract myself from that energy, that vibration of extreme fear or extreme greed, I feel bullish. Right now, for example, I think Harmony is around 6.5 cents. I'll take a little look afterwards. And if I fast forward and I just imagine and I go to like me in the future in 2022, is Harmony 6.5 cents? No way. Is it going to be 2 cents? What? No. Is it going to be $3? I don't know if it'll be $3, but I mean, it should be at least 80, 90 cents. It may have gone to $2 and gone through some retracement. This is like part of how my thinking of from a gut instinct level when I tune in to imagine a future. And of course, these are just their possibilities, their probabilities. That's what I do when professionally, what I've done for over 20 years is do intuitive and psychic readings. And to be able to be right 100% of the time, it's hard, but especially within crypto, because there's so many different factors. But what I keep coming back to, and just in those two examples I gave you with Ethereum and with Harmony, is that what I believe overall, the message here is that what we're experiencing now, we're going to look back on this and go, wow, do you remember that? We're going to have the battle scars from it. Only scars if we did something stupid. But if not, and there's a number of you here in the Crypto Angel Network community who have hands like canary diamonds. And I have learned from you, actually, a number of you, and I'm moving through them about 3/4 of the way through Ivan on Tech's algorithmic trading course. And one of the key things that I learned is when you chart out different strategies for making a trading bot, and then you put that chart up and look at the execution of that particular strategy, what is the return for that on doing those trades where you put it against historical data. Of course, the data is never going to be exactly the same again. We're never going to have exact 2017 again, 2014, 2013 or 12, et cetera, et cetera. And comparing that to if one had just hodled for that period. And the interesting thing that I saw that Philip had demonstrated from Ivan on Tech is that with a number of strategies, it would have been better to just hodl, unless you can, because sometimes some of these strategies, they will only work for a certain period of time. When I first came into trading, and I was doing some swing trading going back into January, and some of it day trading, I was having a lot of profitable trades. It seemed almost easy to me to go and make those gains in January and in summer February. And then I tried to carry on that strategy. I guess I was doing the trading with unconscious competence because I didn't know what I know now from the algorithmic trading strategies. And then I had tried to continue some of those same strategies, and it didn't work in the same way, where I was able to take good profits pretty quickly within 24 hours or 2-3 days at the most. Suddenly it was taking me 10 days to 2 weeks. And so this is why I have come to the conclusion, or rather, as I'm studying the algorithmic trading, it has reinforced my feeling that hodling, especially when the market is this volatile, this toxic, and that is just part of the growing pains that we are experiencing. If you are new to crypto and you've just bought at a high, and I want to go to a couple of the comments here to just reassure you that I would just say, deep breath, hold on tight, do not panic. And also because some of the YouTubers out there, I absolutely love some of the channels out there, but these headlines can be, because that's just what happens. It's the style on YouTube where one has a face where it's, it's just like this. I mean, I do it on my thumbnails as well. If you see from my branding that I do in, if the branding that I do in just in general, overall, it's more zen, whereas in YouTube, it's like, it's just like this dramatic stuff, or 5 exclamation points, emergency, urgent. I mean, everything. One of the things I learned in self-help many, many years ago is if you don't have to be taken to the hospital right away, if someone isn't dying, it's not an emergency. The price is, it's not an emergency. You're not dying. And so this whole emergency, urgent, nothing's an emergency or urgent. It just isn't. If you can get your head around that, you're going to weather this much better so that you're not reacting, you're not making knee-jerk reactions. So, Bagger786, thoughts on GRT? I'm new and it keeps falling and falling. Whether to sell, I can't give investment advice, but we'll go and we'll just pop onto the chart and look at that. Ernie Lozano says, who cares about the complaints and the haters? Don't comment about them, just move on from the wild, wild west to California, Central Valley. Oh, wow, I must have had, that was probably Michael Van Uten, who loves to try and wind me up and be like, haha, Joanna, the price is just going down, although he was holding Harmony. I think he sold his bags of Harmony. But Harmony's going to be around for the long haul. That's on my list of my top 4. And then I just want to address here, Don't Even says, do you know why Matic is dropping immensely? Are you still holding it? I am still holding my Matic. I am still holding my Harmony. I have not sold anything. I've sold zero. My portfolio is exactly the same as it is. The only difference is that my unrealized returns, gosh, I was like over 120,000 in profit. That has evaporated, and I'm not worried because I feel certain that it's going to come back, and I feel good about that. So let me just pop over to the chart here, and let's just start off very briefly with, we'll just hop onto GRT, and we'll start there, and then we'll take a quick look at GRT, and we'll take a quick look at Matic as well. And let me make sure I'm in the right, yeah, okay, I'm in the right chart here. Let me just move this down here. And okay, so let me make sure I explain this correctly. Something that I have learned recently from the trading course that I was doing is, I didn't have these here before. I was using just support and resistance, and the idea of that trend is your friend. Well, it's very, if we weren't having this whole market-wide crash, GRT wouldn't be doing what it's doing right now, because I go back to the fundamentals of GRT. And you can see from my playlist, my journey I've gone through from GRT, where I held a lot of it. I took profits on it. And then I recently went back into it and will be holding it long term, because I believe that GRT is going to perform extremely well in the years ahead when other projects will have fallen away. And this is not investment advice. So let's just see here. One of the things that you can do when you go into TradingView here, I like using the TradingView tool that is within Gate.io. If you do end up using Gate.io and you don't already have it, there is a link to use my referral in the description. So this blue line here, you can see is this is the 50-week moving average, and the red line is the 20-week moving average. When we look here and the 20-week moving average fell below the 50-week, boom, right? We started to go down. The lines were running parallel alongside each other. They started, as they got near to touching, you can see that GRT went up slightly. And then again, that didn't happen. We had that 20 moving average stay below the blue, and that is where we saw this huge, well, the dip, it was just, full. That was the crash right here. And that's where, and then there was the bounce, right? Bitcoin bounced, and so you can see GRT bounced here as well. And there was a line of support that came in, and then we started to move to the upside again. And then the lines, briefly, there was a moment of hope. There was a slight pump because the 20-week moving average line, it crossed above the 50. We thought we were going up. Then it again, so you see these lines, there's so many, the lines are crossing so much at the moment. But overall, you can see here on both of these that we are on both the 20 and the 50, it is showing bearish. And so one of the things you could say is, well, how long is that going to go? I mean, I wish I knew. I wish I could tell you exactly how long it is going to go for. But I'd say, let me go more from sort of like let's just zoom out here. Let's just go onto the daily. Let's go on the daily here. Let me just expand this out. Wow, you can just see, can you see that? Look up on the RSI, the relative strength index. You can see when GRT pumped and it went to its all-time high of almost $3, it definitely was overbought. And then right now, everything is oversold again, just because of the markets. If we look here overall, can you see this line of the moving average? everything GRT was going above that. And it was for the 20 as well. And then right around, it started to really, it was still holding above there. It was only when we just hit like right around mid-April that we hit that top there, because we went up to retest again at $2.18, and then we've just come back down. But you got to look overall. I mean, GRT only, it came out in December, and even with this crash here, I mean, could we go all the way back down to around 25 cents the way things are right now and the extreme fear? It is possible. And but I can just tell you that I'm hodling because I believe that later on this year, later on in 2021, things will start to, people will get over this. People will start to understand that the fundamentals that are there on this project, and also, where with Matic as well, they're very, very, these projects are part of the backbone of DeFi. And so, we've got the blockchain of blockchains, and for interoperability and scalability. And then with GRT, we got search. Query search that is being used by anyone that is focused on Web3. And it's not if Web3 is going to have, Web3 is here. It's just in the early stages of it, just like the internet was. So later on in this year, I will be surprised if Graph, say by December 2021, I'll give a price prediction again of, I mean, it should be back. It should have gone back and tested the all-time high of $3. It should have a level of support of at least $2.18. So that's what I'm saying with that. And therefore, that's why a number of people who do have GRT, it's because they understand the fundamentals of that, and they're not going to be selling it. I hope that helps. Let's then go to Matic, where, hang on, let me just where was it? Oh, well, don't even said about why is Matic dropping. Well, Matic's dropping dramatically because Bitcoin has crashed and everything is still attached to Bitcoin. We talk about Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is still, it does still have huge dominance. So I had originally bought into Matic at 9 cents, and then I sold, I took profits. I bought back in at 78 cents. And let's see here. Again, we're looking from a zoom out here. Everything went so parabolic. And this again comes back to fear and greed, and how it's the idea of what goes up must come down. There's a polarization. Things have to be balanced out. But again, this is where I go with my instinct. Do I feel that we're going to go into a year, 2 years of just going sideways, just sort of where you got like a flat line before things move up again? I will be very, very surprised if that happens. And if it does, it does. I'll just hang on to my Matic until it moves back up. So that's what I'm doing with that. But I do not anticipate this going on more than a couple of months. I mean, I think that this is just a very violent storm right now, and that things are going to start to move to the upside again. Now, if we look, just take a moment here, something that's important that I do want to point out on the 1 day. I mean, here, so on the 50-week, on the 20-week here, Matic was doing great. It was being support. It was above that line, and then we can see it just broke below it. But on the 50-week, hang on a sec, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, on the 50-week, it's still, can you see that candle wick went down and touched just below, but it actually didn't go below it. So that makes me feel bullish for Matic, that this candle didn't close all the way below that. If we see a red candle go below on the 50-week moving average, then yeah, we're gonna, I guess we'll go a bit lower, but then the only way is up. I mean, are you telling me Matic with, God, what's the market cap on that now on Matic? Let's just take a quick look at the market cap on Matic. Let me just hop over here. Matic. Let me just go here. Let's just pull that up. and just take a quick look. It's number 20, and market cap. It's 5 billion right now. I mean, it's a decent sized billing cap. Total value locked just over 6 billion. And I think it was it must have been around, I think it was around, it went up to about 12, 13 billion. Maybe someone can just clarify that in the comments, because I'm just going off the top of my head here. But I'm still very, very bullish on those projects. Frustrated Majority says, a few hours later, ETH crashes 50%. LOL. Sorry, couldn't resist. ETH is a solid choice. This crash is temporary. Yes, it is. Frustrated Majority said, surprised you don't have Theta on your list. Without it, the internet stops working several years. This was in that video, that was my top 4 crypto tokens to hodl. And it was very, very tough. I did mention Theta. I did mention Theta and Solana, and that would go in my top 10. Jay Lizard said, Joe Weisenthal just wrote an article for Bloomberg about JP Morgan freaking out about how big Tether has become. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole separate thing. For those of you who have not seen my videos on Tether as a stable coin and how it affects the whole industry, it's worth checking out. I'm not worried. I don't think anything's going to fall apart tomorrow. I'm just saying, just seems definitely like there's some corruption there, and that's just my opinion. Carlos Benjamin says, Gate is a good discount utility token as well if you're using the Gate exchange. Yes, I'm still in profit on Gate, fortunately, despite the crash. And then I'm going to address Keisha Inu in another video, because that just got listed on Gate.io. So I think that in conclusion, the main thing here is, for those of you who are new to crypto and you're going, why are these certain tokens crashing, and projects that have very, very strong fundamentals? It is just, it is growing pains. I think the idea of saying we're in a bull market, we're in a bear market, it's a bear market within a bull market, it's almost like I think that for me, the way I'm going to look at it is, I'm not going to label it. I don't want to label it as bull or bear. I'm just going to be in it and just observe. And I feel hopeful. I feel optimistic about things. I go back to my gut instinct is that everything's going to be okay. Cryptocurrency it's not going to disappear, because really it is about blockchain, and it is about projects that create efficiencies within our global infrastructure, whether it be for agriculture, for medicine, for transportation, for food, for just tracking, having strong analytics, for being able to record information that can not be tampered with, and that can work, where we can work as one global system, where that information is readily available, whether one is in India, China, USA, Brazil, United Kingdom, South Africa, Lithuania, wherever you are, it is that information is updated in real time, and that it is run globally. And I would encourage you not to get in tune with the FUD or with the euphoria either. Just try and take a neutral, have a neutral mind, and not be attached to what is happening on the day-to-day. And that way you will be able to make the right choices for you at the right time. I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I'm sending you lots of love.